Can you imagine a world where no human had ever taken a single breath? No cities. No lights. No voices like yours or mine. Just ancient silence and an earth untouched, raw and alive. 5 million years ago, this planet wasn't ours. There were no countries. No names. No borders. Only nature, wild, unforgiving, and ruled by beings we no longer remember. They moved like shadows through the forests. Their eyes glowed in the night. They didn't write history, they became part of the soil we now walk on. But who were they? What kind of world existed before the first human breath? And what if some of them never really left? This isn't just history. This is the beginning of a mystery, one buried in silence and bones. Long before humans ever walked this earth, other creatures ruled, powerful, intelligent in ways we may never fully understand. One of them was Gigantopithecus, a towering ape, standing nearly 10 feet tall. Silent, strong, and surprisingly clever. It roamed the forests like a ghost. Then there were the early hominids, Australopithecus, small, upright, and alert. They didn't speak like us. But they watched. They learned. They adapted. The world back then wasn't just dangerous, it was a battlefield of survival. Predators with dagger-like teeth. Birds with wingspans wider than cars. Every day was a war between instinct and extinction. But even more chilling, some footprints found by scientists don't match any known species. Tools discovered with no clear maker. Skulls that don't fit the evolutionary timeline. What if there was another race, one we've never documented, that walked beside our ancestors and vanished without a trace? Or worse, what if they never vanished at all? And then, the earth screamed. Volcanoes erupted with fire that swallowed forests. Mountains cracked open. The ground trembled for days. Animals ran, but there was nowhere to hide. It was more than a disaster. It was a purge. Entire species were wiped out in the blink of an eye. Fossils show abrupt endings, creatures frozen mid-motion, buried in ash and rock. But not all died. Some adapted. Some changed. And in the silence that followed, new life began to rise. Among them, early human-like beings began to emerge. Small, cautious, fragile, but curious. That curiosity would soon become our greatest weapon. But even now, scientists are baffled by the sudden shift. The way nature reset so violently, and yet left room for something completely new. What triggered it? Was it just nature? Or something else? In the quiet that followed the chaos, giants awakened. Gigantopithecus still walked, silent, unseen, watching. Massive sloths climbed trees like gentle monsters. And birds taller than men hunted in packs. But legends began to whisper of something else. Beings taller than any ape, with glowing eyes and strange movements. Sightings from deep jungles in places untouched by civilization. Tribes called them guardians. Others feared them, believing they could vanish at will. Scientists dismissed the stories. But how could so many cultures, thousands of miles apart, speak of the same thing? There are fossils we've never explained. Creatures too evolved for their time. Structures found deep underground, too symmetrical, too precise to be nature's doing. Maybe these were the last survivors of the old world. And they chose to disappear rather than compete with us. Maybe they never wanted to be found. Then came the moment that changed everything. A spark. It wasn't fire. It was thought. One creature picked up a rock and sharpened it. Another discovered how to control fire, not by accident, but by design. They began to build. To plan. To imagine. This was the birth of the human mind. From this point forward, no creature would shape the earth like we did. We learned to hunt in groups. To protect our young. To tell stories by firelight and draw pictures in caves. But here's the strangest part. This leap in intelligence happened too fast. Too sudden. Some researchers believe something, or someone, accelerated it. A force. A signal. A spark that was given, not earned. And if that's true, who gave it to us? And what did they want in return? Eventually, the rulers of the old world faded. Their bones scattered across deserts, buried in ice, hidden in caves. Some turned to stone. Others left no trace at all. And humans took over. We named the stars. We split the atom. We conquered land, sea, and sky. But we forgot something. This world wasn't always ours. It belonged to them, for millions of years before our first whisper. And in some places, it still might. From the snowy mountains of the Himalayas to the dense, unexplored jungles of the Amazon, stories persist. Massive shadows seen through the trees. Deep growls with no source. Footprints too large, too wide, disappearing into fog. Some call it myth. Others call it madness. But what if it's memory? What if the last of them is still out there, watching, waiting? Because maybe, just maybe, they were never extinct. They just stepped back. If this story gave you chills, imagine what's still hidden beneath our feet. This is just the beginning. There are secrets buried in time, and we're here to uncover them, one mystery at a time. So if you're curious, if you crave truth behind forgotten worlds, if you believe that history hides more than it reveals, white right pointing backhand index, subscribe now, and join us on this journey through the shadows of the past. Because what's lost isn't always gone. And let us think we were alone.